Okay, 3, 2, 1. Good morning. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Star Cycle here. Today we are going to be doing a few things with the ELZ1 Play. I hope Sonicware watches this. I actually do, because I have a really good amount to say, and I like giving feedback on a company that I believe will listen to its users and reasonably turn around improvements. So we have a couple goals today. Just going to show you these goals here. We're going to be doing this. Our aim today is to just make a few presets. I'm just going to be messing around with it. As a bit of a background, I am an independent solo game developer. So I am not a musician. I am not a music artist, at least not yet. Boy, it would be interesting if I were. I've had the ELZ1 Play for a few months. I have not had a whole lot of time with it because my time's being eaten up by the SH4D and other projects, of course, because I'm a dev. But just as a bit of relevancy to this for this background, because of that, I'm going to be looking at presets a little more strongly than others, because presets are going to give me the guideposts to creating my own sounds. So we're going to be coming back to that in a moment. But yeah, if you want to know where I'm coming from, that's where I'm coming from. I do enjoy my Sonicware products so far. My first was a Lo-Fi 12, which was a bit difficult to learn, but I wouldn't mind having another Live-In series device. I probably would want either the 8-bit warps or the Mega Synthesis. I don't know. It's hard to choose, but the Live-In series definitely has its own problems, but we're not here to talk about that today. I do love my Lo-Fi XT, which I hope to get to later today. So we are going to, while I'm doing that, bank C0. All right, well, obviously we have a bit of glare coming in here. Let's see if I can take that down a bit. That's better. So let's talk about the ELZ1 Play. I do like this thing, and I'm hoping that the audio capture input is getting it. No, mini fuse. Okay, yeah, a little more. Okay, good. Right about negative 20 decibels. That's good. All right, so I kind of go across a lot of genres, but we're going to be, the goal today is to get a preset. So we're going to go back to this. So I feel like this should be the flagship product of Sonicware because it's the most expensive. Okaneda. The way this stacks up against the SH4D, the SH4D was $700. For real, like it was $700. It's got analog vintage, and when I got this and I started playing with it, I started having this thought in my head: how much are we really paying for analog vintageness? We're paying for vintage, but what attachment do we have to that? And that's the secret of sales. So the ELZ1 markets itself as proudly digital, and I think it does live up to that. But there are some issues. Firstly, I can't mute the speaker. Like, yeah, you're getting right now you're getting 2 points of audio. You're probably getting the audio coming through the speakers on either end here, and they're not bad. Velocity sensitive keyboard, much better than the Live-In series. And you're getting the output here. So you're probably going to be hearing an echo because I can't mute this thing, or at least I've never figured out how. The second issue is the presets. We need to talk about the presets. There is a decent spread of presets across all of the models that are in here. Where the hell did I start? Um, but there's an issue. This is the current layout of presets on my device right now. This is the ELZ1 Play, just so we're clear. And there's 4 banks, bank A, B, C, and D. And you can see that A has a kind of a particular setup here. It goes from about 15 demo sounds to cinematic sounds, game sounds, ambient lead pads. And so like they're organized in groups, but not all of them have the same amount of stuff, which, you know, isn't a big deal. But they're not laid out categorically in a way that makes you want to make full songs. And this thing is capable of making full songs. We will get to the sequencer later. What I think someone at Sonicware should do is take one day, and they'd be like, yo, I'm gonna fix all the presets. They're gonna like, you have 2 banks. You have 2 banks to deal with presets here. Recategorize all of them into that order that I have here on my pick. Excuse me. This is just not helpful to the user. This isn't. Like when I first went through all of the memory on this thing, just playing around, right? I'm blind. There we go. So, you know, when I'm... Oh no. So I'm... When I'm going through the presets on this in the bank, like, there's no rhyme or reason to them. I kind of expect to go through, you know, a large bank of things by learning each kind of series of sounds. And while this thing is kind of demoing all of the different oscillators in its first set of patterns, that's okay. You could probably keep the demo category, but like just going through all the other ones, I have no idea where I am in memory outside of like bank A or B, and you know, navigating between these, I don't know where I am in terms of instruments because the oscillator model keeps changing. So and that does make this much harder to just kind of get into the machine and start finding the things that kind of grab your attention and then work with your workflow. That does make it very difficult. So, you know, going back to, whoops, not that. That's for later. Yeah, someone at Sonicware should just take a day and be like, yo, I'm gonna fix all these presets. Just reorder them. I don't care if you take up 2 banks. In fact, I don't care if you take up 3 banks. But take up 2 banks, pick the very most useful sounds that people will have, and take like, there's about 23, I believe. Did I just write that down? There's about 23 demo sounds total. There's 9 plus 14, 9 plus 15. That would be great. That'd just be great. I would love that. Yeah, have the demo sounds that just demonstrate the strength of each oscillator model. But after that, everything is labeled and named appropriately for sections, so that way you can remember where you are in memory. If I go into bank B, I know reasonably I'm going to run into all of these kinds of sounds, and then you know, so that's all I really have to say about presets. Let's go back to what we're doing. The STK drummer. Oh boy. Oh boy. We gotta talk about STK drummer. Let's see. So the SDK drummer, wow, fantastic. You can't see it here because of my terrible camera work, but being able to use drum kits like I do on the Lo-Fi XT or the Simple Trek is really cool. The thing about this boy is that it goes out to this key. So you arguably have, like, 4, 8. So we would say this is what you would get on a Simple Trek. If you had a nicer drum machine, you'd get out to here, but we're not using the whole power of this thing. Nothing here, of course. So notice that we are here. Damn. So yeah, very difficult to see here because I'm not going to move the camera and myself up, but on the drum machine there are still 6 buttons left by the time you're here. But this kit that I imported doesn't go that far. That sucks. I don't like that. So even if you were to, the only way to add more sounds to this is to import them from someone who did the work on their Simple Trek, provided you don't have one yourself. And even if you do, you are only getting this far. You're only getting 8. That sucks. That sucks. So what I really would like is a companion application to the SDK drummer or some sort of sampling kit maker to actually import or export to the SDK drummer that would make it way more powerful and way more useful. As it is, like, I like the idea of this thing. It looks like a 1984 drum machine on the screen. I have a plugin that looks just like that. That makes me feel nice and fuzzy, but pain in the ass. Oh, we gotta talk about the sequencer. Okay, so I don't know how bad this is gonna look. So the sequencer, we have to talk about this boy. So the sequencer. The sequencer rolls up. I actually don't know why. So I figured they wanted to make as much use of the vertical screen as they could. So they went from the bottom up. I don't know why they chose that. If I were designing this machine, what I would do is I would basically take this middle section and reverse it. That's all you need to do. Take the sequencer section, turn it upside down so it looks and plays like this. This is a screenshot of OpenMPT. It is a tracker in the vein of the old Amiga mod tracker. This is the inheritor to mod tracker, actually. And trackers will roll down. If you're going to roll vertically, roll down. Roll down. And it's kind of weird because, well, in Japanese you read down. I don't know what to say. So yeah, they should really take this section and make it animate and roll down. That'd be great. Otherwise, everything else about this is okay. Inputting ties is a little difficult. I kind of wish that if I were to do function or so, and then while it's rolling and then do a tie, but while it's rolling it's fine, but there was a way to input a, let's see, enable recording. There we go. See, so we just wrote that. The sequencer is otherwise difficult to see. That's kind of a pain. If this were to roll down, and if we were to see steps 1 through 8, that would probably be a lot better. Yeah, that probably would be a lot better. So, yeah, that I think would be the easiest change you could make to the sequencer. Programmatically, it's just a matter of how you display this center part. They actually don't need to change anything else. So let's talk about the next thing. Yeah, so such as that. This thing feels like it can be more powerful than it actually is. Let's go to... So here we have, let's actually go to a new one since that's what we're doing today. Sorry, couldn't resist. So we have all these oscillator models, and I'm still learning these, admittedly. I'm learning these. I am not an expert at digital signal processing. I am an engineer and applied scientist by education, so, you know, all the wave stuff does make sense to me. But the low bit oscillator is just one thing. It would be nice if some of these waveforms were named, so we can see that the 4, 2-bit, 8-bit, change this to... So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the low bit oscillator. Of course, you only really have enough for so much electrical signals, so this could be really good as long as you can kind of gussy it up with this stuff. But if you were to look at some of these menus, right, you have this menu by itself, which doesn't have a lot. The D, there's nothing that happens with D. Okay, so it's a low bit oscillator, very simple. This is the first type. But let's go to the standard oscillator. So now... So... I don't understand the difference. So we have duty. But then we have the standard oscillator. And I don't really understand what the difference between these oscillators really is. To me, they're functionally the same. They have the same kind of parameters. But here's the thing. There's these blank spaces now, to where, like, you know, it feels like it should be more powerful than it is. I should be able to control more parameters about this. That'd be really good. I mean, like, yeah, this is an oscillator model 1. And now we have the custom oscillator, which allows you to do... Oh, yeah. A little bit more complexity. But again, you drift through these menus and you see that there's just spaces left behind where you can have parameters. Okay, forget that. Let's go to this one, the super oscillator. Now this is kind of cool. I wish I could understand this a bit more, but you know, obviously this one's going to be dealing with synchronization and with this little noise level here. But again, we get to the third page, there's 2 empty parameters that I feel like you should be able to control something with. Here's kind of where mostly I've been messing with the 8-bit wave mem synth. Admittedly, I do not know how exactly this one works, and if anyone's chatting to me right now, sorry, I'll look through it later. But Now, a lot of these look familiar to me at this point, because I'm learning a tremendous amount. But, man, I would love it if these were named and I can understand them. So we've about 26 out of 50. So okay, we see, you can, we have 27 out of 50. How do we add more? How do we add more to the wave memory sync? Let's look around. Now, again, for this one, there's detuning, which is neat. It does allow me to do a few things. Now, color, I'm not sure what it does. I'm actually not sure what it does, and it doesn't allow you to control it so you understand how much it's doing whatever it's doing to what it's doing. So that's kind of a pain. The morph one is pretty good, and I've been using this one regularly. This, I believe, would be the bread and butter for this machine. 2 oscillators and this Wave C LFO. Of course, you can start doing stuff from this one. The FM mode is what I'm still learning as well. What gets me about this one is that the way I understand frequency modulation may be a little bit wrong, but I feel like if I learn enough, I will figure this out. The problem is probably the issue here being there are, from FM10 to FM20, there's nothing. There's no change. They're all the same. So how do I write a new wave to FM10? That we don't know. And I've been poring over the manual for each oscillator, and while they try to give a lot of documentation towards each one, I feel like there's a lot more that they could say so that someone knows how to use this machine and how to get the things they want to have or add to the machine. That is probably the theme that I want Sonicware to take away. So Sonicware-san, how do I add to this machine? This machine can do so much more than it can actually do. Now, I don't know how much RAM you've allocated for everything in here, but if there's any way that we can find either the companion application to add, because again, the memory has been allocated for these waves. It's there. There's 10 things here, but how do I get more into there? I've been poring over the manual. The warp one is pretty good. The problem... The warp one is pretty good if you want to warp between 2 oscillators, but it's kind of unclear to me. Again, this would be like vector synth. It's basically like 2 oscillators and you're vectoring between them. I've seen that on the Prophet VS Mini, which is, I actually kind of like it. I liked it. It just wasn't as good as this. The ADSAR waveman set I'm not very good at. So I haven't really looked at this and I don't quite understand it, but if we're going to be mapping different oscillators to different parts of the ADSR range, then it's a little more complicated in terms of sound design than I want to know, but it's nice to know that something like this exists because it could make very interesting, very long form sounds. Now this one I don't think is very interesting. If I could do this to 3 different wave memories, bank, alright, so from bank 27, oh, somehow we ran into the frequency modulator wave. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, the internal memory has room for this. So I have to wonder, how do I get more? How do I get more? And I believe this is the way it's supposed to work. You use the DNA Explorer and then the wave grinder in order to take up to 3 sets of wave data, and then after that I don't know. So that's kind of my problem. I don't know what to do after that. One issue that I had was I tried to take the Roland T8 bass sound and to use that to throw into the DNA Explorer so that way I could have a 303 type bass and try to figure it out from there. Unsuccessful. The input volume was just way too low, and messing with the levels, I had to boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so we probably had to go somewhere here to adjust the level from 45 to like something else. So again, this value is from 0 to 127, and yeah, so they probably set the levels on a lot of presets low on purpose. I mean, I'm not going to go step through every single one, but 100, I did that. Yeah, it seems 45 is the default. So it seems it defaults to 45, which is, pretty good, but it can create deceptive sounds. I do not know what the AUX input is going to get me, but when I tried it, it did not work out very well. So I have no idea how this frequency modulation synth works. Like, I don't know what sound is going in. Okay, more parameters. So what we're doing is we are working with what I assume to be a sine wave. Even my synth has gotcha. Roll the gotcha. Just roll the gotcha until we get... I appreciate it, but yeah, it does. We're gonna have to learn this one, of course. So again, I've only had this for a few months. I have not had a lot of time on it, but exploring these between this and reading the manual, it doesn't quite recommend anything to you, which I can appreciate why they may have chosen to do that. But when you're a new user and you really do want to get into something, uh, how do you learn outside of really messing with it? The mask noise is very cool. The mask noise is... So mask noise builds into the sand flute. Now, how? Again, you're gonna have to mess with this. A small string simulator within Z strings is pretty cool, but I would like a few more parameters. You have room for 3 more on this page. I would like that. I struggle. We struggle around here. All right. Let's see what I got going so far, just to show you guys what we're gonna. So let's get to work. So I started in bank C, and you know, we only really have, we just start with a try. D. Okay, I get it. You know, the morph wave memory is good if we want to add the... We want to make it a little more complicated, we throw the third part on there. The third, this obviously I think C is the LFO, but so then I made a square, and we can do a lot with a square. So then I made a sine, and we did a saw. But that's not necessarily saw. That is probably a real saw, and this is probably what I really should be working with from now on. But, you know, ignorance, we learn. We have an offset pulse. And here's the one that when I started working with the morpher. And then I started working on things that were a little bit more, things that are a little more complex. We started working with some of the later waveforms that were a little more complicated, and then I started messing around with the other parameters here. We don't have a filter going on this. We only really have a stereo chorus and a plate reverb. Good old spring reverb. Spring reverb I miss, but... So far, you know, I'm still at the point where I'm trying to figure out, like... yeah, I'm still trying to figure a lot of this out. forgot what I was trying to accomplish here at number 8, but then we moved on. I specialize in evil music, I don't know what to tell you. So, I was very satisfied with this one. But we had to go down an octave. I'm scared. So, I wanted to get something that was close to my Gucci. So, oh my god, it's here's where the black keys, the all black keys of my model start messing with me. Wait. Yikes. We could go up and up. It destabilizes once it gets to this octave, so that's interesting. I wonder, can I make a harmony version of this? That would require... Yeah, there you go. Now we know what we're doing. Okay, let's save this to memory 11. Alright. No attack. Tone Q. What we want is... Oh, we're almost there. It's gonna have to be here. Ah. Okay. Why is this upper end so loud? Is it because it's 0 to 127, so why here? Because this is now 50? Because of... Or am I just a gorilla? I don't know. But I think the objective here is to make this the harmony part of it. So how can we make the next instrument sound like... Bing! It does ring. So we are going to have to apply a ring modulation to it. Delay. Reverb. Hmm. That might be too much because of the room. So what we need is to alter the rates, the depth. Too much. Wait, let's try. There has to be a way to get this close. I feel like I have all the tools that I need between this screen, and this screen's with its parameters to make the thing I want to make. And that's what I want, the harmony. Bing, bing. I'm close. I'm so close. I mean, it won't sound exactly like a Gucci, but I don't care. Next. What don't we have? And again, we're learning what I really should be doing. For real. What I really should be doing is I should be going back to bank 1 and 2, taking basic sounds that I know are on point, altering them, and then saving them into banks 3 and 4. Now, the problem with this is generally what I'm doing on the SH4D. The user data on the SH4D is much smaller. It's a fraction of the total presets you have. The problem with the SH4D's presets is that they are all kind of whack because nobody normalized the volume between all of them by hand. So you go from something that's really quiet that needs to be jacked up to 900 to something that's like super loud, like the Heartbeat drum kit that pretty much blows out your ears, when you try to increase the gain on things. So they're trying to avoid that with this, which they seem to have avoided, but unfortunately, let's say we want to find some basic things that we want, we don't know where we are in memory anymore. And of course, we have that. So here we go. We have a pad made from the low bit oscillator. So now we have to dive in and see what's going on here. We have a 2300 plus millisecond release. This is the kind of work I need to be doing on this thing. We need to look at these sounds, see how they were constructed. We have a low pass filter here. We have reverse delay. That's cool. The reverse delay and is pretty cool because now you can make those sounds that do stick out to users because they don't progress in the way that they expect. Users. Why did I call them users? I'm a game developer. Of course I'm going to call them users or players. Dummy. Don't get sued. The problem with pads is when you stack too many on them. stack too many, like you're playing an organ, which is what I like to do. Suddenly you're just assaulted with a wall of noise. Sonic Man. Sonic! Okay, so here we use the standard oscillator. And again, we have a much bigger release and decay than we actually thought. With a low pass filter 12, stereo chorus, arena reverb. Let's see what happens when we change it. I do appreciate these velocity sensitive keys because the Live-In series, like the Live-In series keys are very janky, and these are no different, but the fact that I can I at least have at least two chief velocities that I can hit with these keys is pretty good, and that does make this a lot better than its Live-In series contemporary, and I hope they don't make any more. So Sonicware, if you're listening, don't make any more Live-Ins unless they have two features that I think you need to have them have. One, they need an... I just messed up my setup. That's why I didn't do this. Now you guys see why I don't do this? Where is it? It's here. The SD card. You need an SD card from now on. I mean that. The most difficult thing about the Lo-Fi 12 that made me upgrade was that it had a very limited memory, and it had it basically was very difficult to move sounds to and from it. So as something that I could take on the go and use, it just wasn't doing the job. So that's a problem across the Live-In series. And the other thing is that I was afraid of breaking many of the buttons, and even these rubbery buttons, I feel like if I like some of them are wearing out already. Like, not that see this memory one, the print, it's very difficult to see, but the memory button here has a little bit of a corruption on it, a little bit of a dot as if something hit it. I do worry so much about like knobs and stuff, but the knobs here are all encoders. Encoders should just be used from now on. Like, if you're just using plain potentiometers, then I don't know what to say. It really should be an encoder at this point. Like, welcome to 2025. I don't know what to say. Our like, pots break. They just break. Replacing an encoder is replacing an encoder. Someone's gonna have to. Only an electrical engineer will have to inform me about why you would want to pick. Anyway. So the time, it would seem to me the time for the wavelength synth for time would be really good for sounds that take a long time and they have to change between things, and you're going to be combining it with very long decay and release. Tape echo. So these two are going to be the key to dealing with that. So again, where am I in memory? I just lost my place. I'm in A11. Am I still in... Yeah, I'm still in demo presets. You know how much that throws me off? Okay, so... Alright, let's find a lead. I gotta look at my list. We want to go to... This is probably why older synths have everything printed right on the thing. But, like, to me that's ugly. I just... Like, the screen should be helping me find all that. Let's go to 26. Okay, I get it. I get it. Well done. I get it. So we're still in game up to 38. So if there's anything I've learned here, it's that when I'm making sound, a lot of these are being driven by this master reverb here. Instead of messing with delay reverb, reverb master, modern. Okay. There it is. Down, up. This is the other screen we didn't actually take a look at. So, I guess today we're learning. Can you tell how old I am? Arpeggiator. It really is the master reverb. Whoa, wait. 8-bit waveman sent wait. Go back to my bank now. I didn't even see this. FN mode, morph. Oh my god, I didn't even realize I can do this. Well, I didn't know I could do that. I know I'm not seeing the... How would we... I'm gonna wrap it up at this point because I believe I've said more than enough about this machine. And if I'm gonna record this, I might as well record a much shorter video and then or cut this one up. But let's prepare your asses. This might be bad. Get close. Okay. All right. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. I didn't know I could do that. So you can... Okay, that's how we create new waveforms. So... Bang. Now, how do we save to the bank? What? Guys. Okay, so memory function okay. We'll copy this to where? Okay, function, okay. Okay! Memory to banks. Oh, I'm a genius. To bank. And it shows you. I'm a genius. I just figured it out. Ah, Tensaiga! Alright. Well, now that I think we've learned a lot just exploring this thing. I think we learned a lot today. So, I think that's going to be it for now. Thank you for guys for joining me. If Sonicware is watching or has watched or will watch, I very much appreciate it. I will probably shoot you guys an email describing everything I have for this device first. Now that I've done this stream and taken time to do this, it's only been about an hour. I feel a lot more confident now that I can do something with this. Exploring the sounds of this will take time, but that's with every single synth that I have. Um, People didn't like the SH4D. They called it direct to bad gear, despite it ticking all the boxes. But um, I like the SH4D, and now you're seeing people use it more. You're seeing it in people's videos now because they're working with it now. They may be hooking it up to other gear. You may see a Syntact in there somewhere, but uh, honestly, outside of some of the minor issues, like it just takes time. It takes time. Pick one and go deep. Take time. So that's I think we've learned the lesson today. When you take the time, it works. So thank you very much. We are done. We will see if we can do another one today for the Lo-Fi XT, but I wanted to do the ELZ one because I really had a lot to say.